After World War II ended in 1945, two powerful nations rose: the United States and the Soviet Union. Though they once fought side by side against Nazi Germany, their friendship quickly turned into rivalry. This rivalry wasn't fought with direct battle, but through politics, ideology, technology, and fear. It became known as the Cold War, a period from 1947 to 1991 when the world was divided between capitalism led by the US and communism led by the Soviet Union. The Cold War gave rise to one of the most dangerous competitions in history, the nuclear arms race. It began when the US dropped atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. The Soviet Union responded by testing its first atomic bomb in 1949. From that moment, both nations began racing to build more powerful and destructive weapons. By the 1950s, they had created the hydrogen bomb, a weapon hundreds of times stronger than the atomic bomb. Each side stockpiled thousands of nuclear warheads, enough to destroy the entire continent. The United States formed NATO, while the Soviet Union created the Warsaw Pact, both strengthening their military alliances. Fear of global destruction led to the concept known as mutually assured destruction, MAD, meaning if one side attacked, the other would retaliate and both would be destroyed. The competition didn't stop on Earth. In 1957, the Soviets launched Sputnik, the world's first satellite, starting the space race. Both nations raced to prove technological superiority in space exploration and missile development. This race pushed humanity to new heights but also kept the world in constant tension. The Cold War reached its most dangerous point during the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962, when the Soviet Union placed nuclear missiles in Cuba, just 90 miles from the US coast. For 13 tense days, the world stood on the brink of nuclear war. Fortunately, diplomacy prevailed, and the crisis ended peacefully after secret negotiations between US President John F. Kennedy and Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev. In the 1980s, new efforts for peace emerged. US President Ronald Reagan and Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev agreed to limit nuclear weapons through treaties like START and INF. Finally, in 1991, the Soviet Union collapsed, marking the end of the Cold War. The Cold War left behind a divided world, the fear of nuclear destruction, and massive military spending. But it also led to remarkable scientific and technological progress, including space exploration. Today, the lessons of the Cold War remind us how close humanity came to destroying itself, and how peace and diplomacy can save the world. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. See you in our next video.